Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy YouTube Blue coming back at you again. Doing a late report on the game because I'm just getting back in and getting ready to turn in for the night. So this game, I mean, like I said, it's preseason. The scores do not matter. I don't care about the scores. The things I'm going to say about the scores is that looks like our first team defense does shut down. They've definitely shut out the last two teams from playing. So while our full starters have been in the game, they haven't scored, and our offense has scored. So I'm not really saying much about our starters. Our starters are really good. Our starters is going to carry this team, but the problem is you got to have depth because your starters are not going to be able to play all the time. Sometimes they're going to get injured, and you got to have capable backups to take their spot. Now, if you don't have those backups, then this is what happens. I will say that Joe Looney started at center because Travis Frederick did not play because of his stinger. But we had a lot of injuries tonight. Now, thank God some of them aren't as bad as we may think they are, but they're definitely worthy to talk about. Our $90 million man, Zack Martin. He hurt his knee on I think it was Drake Kirkpatrick tried to avoid one of his blocks or whatever, and I guess he undercut him and he hurt his knee. Now, we don't know what the extent of that knee issue is. He's definitely going to get an MRI on him to check it out. The Cowboys don't seem like they're too worried about it because we did see him come back on the field after he changed his street clothes and actually was laughing on the sideline with his teammates. So let's just hope that Zack Martin is okay for that matter. Xavier Woods left the game with a hamstring injury. He needed help getting off the field with that. This is the same hamstring that he hurt last season. So these soft tissue injuries, I'll tell you, they're really, you can't predict them. They just happen when they happen. You know what I mean? Bo Scarborough, it looks like he had a hip flexor. He stayed in uniform. I don't think that injury is too serious. I think they just need to do some rehab on that and get that right. Datone Jones also had a knee injury. We don't know what the extent of that is. So we'll see what his status is like going forward. Jameill Showers, in my opinion, had the worst injury out of all of them. Now, the way that he gripped his leg, I think that I'm hoping that it's not an ACL tear, but we don't know. We'll see what happens with that. Now, some bright spots. Taco Charlton had the first sack of the preseason. Congrats to him on that. But we need more of that. I'm liking what I'm seeing with the starters on the defensive line. Are definitely getting some pass rush. Both Coney Ely and Dorrance Armstrong had a pass breakup, and they got the ball back for the offense. So I'm looking at what the defense is doing right now, and it looks like our starters are going to be prepped and primed and ready to go. We just got to get to the quarterback. We got to get these sacks, and we got to let these other teams pay because they're not giving Cowboys no respect right now. So sometimes you got to take your respect to get it. Thinking about Dak Prescott, he threw 2 touchdown passes in this game. One of them was to Terrence Williams. On a nice, when the play breaks down, Terrence Williams does a really, and I've been saying this before, Terrence Williams always does a very good job of buying time, getting himself open, so when Dak is improvising, he can get him the ball for that touchdown. Dak's quarterback rating between these both two games from last week and this week, 158.3 to today, 103.8. Now, really good stats right there. Granted, he didn't play the whole game. I get that. But for the time that he was in there, he showed up and he produced. And that's the main thing. Yeah, he was 3 or 4 possessions, time of possession that he had leading to points, whether it was a touchdown or a field goal. Now, I'm seeing the progression in Dak. I'm seeing him getting better and better at his craft. He seems to be much more comfortable in this offense. So we'll definitely see going forward how Dak is, when the season starts and we actually get everything together and this roster solidified. Because, again, these receivers still have to continue with their camaraderie with him and that chemistry. That chemistry is important with your wide receivers, because your wide receivers can make your quarterback look good or bad, and your quarterback can make your wide receivers good or bad. So, I mean, it's give or take there. It really is. I mean, it just takes the effort of everybody to make it happen. Now, like I said, we'll see what happens with the MRI with Zack Martin. But if he can't play for preseason, or if they decide they want to pull him out, Big Joe Looney get in there and play. Well, he's playing the center though, but he could play the center and guard position, so he's definitely a multi guy. We still got Cam Fleming. Those two are definitely going to be locks to make this team. But can Kadeem Edwards make this team? We don't know. We'll see how he does it. I need more of him. I need to see more of what he can do to actually make myself feel better about it. I know a lot of you guys continue to say Chaz Green is trash. I mean, he very well is. I'm not gonna take that away from you. It's just funny because it's like every video I see or every comment I see, it's something with Chaz Green. But I kind of feel sorry for the kid though. I don't know what it is, if his confidence level is not where it should be. But either way, I'm just looking at it as he better get it right or he ain't gonna make this team. So, because they're trying to get the best people on that team, on that field at any given time, whether that's a starter, depth purposes, it is what it is. Leighton Vander Esch, he was dealing with some issues too, so he didn't play tonight. Jalen Smith was out there running around looking good. Like I said, I'm loving what I'm seeing from certain position groups right now, but I need them to keep it up because it's going to be a long season and we need all hands on deck. So, let me know. I know you guys are going to let me know what you think about the game. I know a lot of you guys got a lot to say, but just remember, y'all, preseason, when it comes to point scoring, doesn't matter. You want to see what your starters can do. You want to see, because you get a better idea of what you're working with your offense when you see what the starters do when they're in the game. Because again, these backups, third, fourth string guys that had no business making this team. Camp bodies is what I like to call them. So we'll see what happens. Things are getting more interesting as the days go on. So again, that's why I'm here. That's why we're here to basically try to keep up with things and just have conversations about it. I don't know if I sound kind of bland right now. I'm really tired right now. I just wanted to shoot a late video, y'all, just to give you some of my thoughts and perspective on it. Like I said, we'll see Monday what's going on with these injuries and who's in, who's out. But still, despite of all the injuries that we had in this game, just random stuff going on in this game, we're still not as bad as some other teams, because there's definitely some other teams out there that are losing guys for the whole season, not just for a particular moment in time. We're pretty much putting a patch on stuff and keeping it moving. So we don't really have a lot going on. We're just gonna pray that Zack Martin is good and that he doesn't miss any consistent time, important time, I should say, because all this is important. Oh shoot, real quick, the tight ends. I noticed that they've been doing a lot of 2 tight end sets with Blake Jarwin and Jeff Swain. I'm sorry. The team has emphasized how a lot of our outside of Swain, everybody else is either a great pass catcher or a subpar blocker. Now, I don't know. I don't want the team to get so hung up on this end-all, be-all tight end as far as blocking, because, again, there's ways that you can get around that. Again, bringing in Joe Looney when we have a healthy line. Pulling the fullback out to make sure that he's doing his job. cut blocking and things of that nature. Same thing with the running back. You can use these guys in different positions and show them. I'm looking at Rod Smith. I mean, that boy right there, when he got some open space, him gone. So I'm loving what I'm seeing there with the running back position. We'll see what happens with Bo Scarborough. Again, I don't think that his injury is really significant or needs the attention that that you would think. So I'm looking at it like this. A lot of these guys will be here day one. So I'm not really worried about it too much because these practices was solely to damn, what am I talking about? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm tired. I lost my train of thought. Either way, Rico Gathers had a nice catch. Now, Mike White threw that ball terribly bad. Terribly. I know that's not correct English, but he threw it terribly bad. And that's how bad it was that I had to put those two words together. Terribly bad. He threw the ball literally to the defender. Rico Gathers had to reach over the dude, grab the ball, and pull it back. See, circus catches like that makes me hope that they actually keep Rico. They just keep emphasizing so much on these guys blocking so much. And I understand that when you're a tight end, you got to be able to play in the blocking schemes and block for your quarterback and or your running back. And sometimes wide receivers as well. So that's just what I got to say about that. I mean, Rod Smith is, because you know Zeke's not going to play. I don't think he's probably going to play to the last preseason game. And if he does at all, they're only going to give him a little amount of time. But open space with Rod Smith and I think, and then with this offensive line and stuff like that, even with the situation, I don't think that we're going to lose Zack Martin for a long time. So I think we're going to be good on that standpoint. With, like I said, only the MRI can see. So I'm just speaking positivity into that. So that's pretty much it that I got tonight, y'all. Hope you enjoyed watching the preseason game. Again, take preseason with a grain of salt. Don't matter what games we win, you got to look at what happens during the game and as far as what the starters are doing. And you want to look at these young guys and see who's deserving of a spot on this roster. We got to do, again, one last thing. We got to do something about safety because now that Jameill Showers is down, we definitely have to get another safety in here to provide depth or whatever they need to do for the team. So with that being said, y'all, it's your boy E2 Blue. Like, share, comment. Always keeping it real. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.